Holy smokes, guys. Stocks are getting completely eviscerated right now. We're talking the Nasdaq's down over 3%. The Russell's down pretty much 3%. The Dow's down actually not too much, 0.8% down. And the S&P's down 2% as the VIX is up almost 20%. And oh, by the way, I'm sure you guys could have guessed this. SoFi is down over 7%. So we have to break down SoFi, the charts, go over what I bought just now, and break down the indices. So guys, hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, join my Patreon if you want to keep up with my portfolio updates, my trades, investments, my chart breakdowns, and if you want to be a part of my private Discord, all that's linked down below, pinned in the comments, or go to stocksurfest.com/Patreon. And now guys, cheers, take a sip of your water. In this case, I might need to get myself a real drink, if you know what I mean. Cheers, guys. And yeah, let's dive into it. So we are getting obliterated across the board, right? And there are barely any stocks that are green today. I mean, guys, what stocks are green today? Starbucks, barely. Apple's green. Monster Beverage is green. But other than those, not much is green, at least, in my watch list. And everything from tech to AI to memory, fintech, crypto, you name it, space stocks, everything's getting killed right now. And it's just one of those days, man. We haven't had one of these days in quite some time. A big red day where the Qs drop over 2-3%, the Russell 3%. We haven't had something like this, especially where the VIX is up 20%. You could argue that we've been overdue, right? And SoFi at this point is completely falling through these moving averages. Now we've given back all the gains from the last couple of days. We're back in the 15s, down over $1 on the day, 7% in the red. And now you guys can see we're under these moving averages on this 1 hour time frame. We have a death cross. That's not ideal. And again, we're pretty much back to where we were before this run, which I thought for a second, it was the spark, the start of the spark of a breakout, of a reversal. But I guess I was wrong, right? I was wrong. We hit $20. Now we're right back down to 15. So we've given back 20% of gains over the last couple of days. And SoFi at this point, guys, is, right back to test the support at 15.50, which we have held over the last couple of weeks. But who knows, man, what it's going to do as of right now. I mean, we got clearly rejected at $19-20, which needed to break. The bulls were in desperate need of that to break, and now we're pretty much right back to the bottom of this channel. So I'm a bit worried in the short term, especially if this red in the overall market continues, which we'll talk about that in a second. I'm not too convinced that that's the case, but if it does continue, man, if the Qs go down another 2, 3, 4, 5%, which is possible, although I don't think that's going to happen. We'll talk about that in a second. But if that does happen, there's a very real chance SoFi takes out the lows. The way the price action's looking right now. If you asked me that question a couple of days ago, I would have told you guys, look, and I did say this, we're starting to break through. We were above 18, 19. We were above those moving averages, pushing towards the highs from pre-earnings. But that just did not hold, right? We did not break $20. And it's crazy how quickly SoFi can turn. And here we are. So it's critical to see today, later today, next week, do we find support in the low mid 15s, high 14s? And honestly, if we do, and the market starts to turn back around, the Qs, the S&P, honestly, this could be a nice buy in the weakness here, but I'm going to be patient and wait until next week for me when it comes to SoFi, right? And honestly, I think there are other deals out there in the market with this drawdown that are better than SoFi, where the stocks have been doing well, the charts are looking good, but we're just pulling back. I think there are a lot of better spots to put money right now, especially in the short term, than SoFi. So let's cover what's going on with what I'm doing, what stocks I'm buying right now. I just bought some stocks before this video, and let's cover the indices quickly here, guys. And by the way, make sure to subscribe, hit that follow button. I'm pretty sure 50% of you guys watch the content and you're not subscribing, you're not hitting that follow button, and we're trying to get to 100,000 subs on YouTube and 100,000 followers on Facebook. And I can't do it without you guys. I appreciate you all for tuning in, day out. You guys are awesome. Thanks for the support. So the Qs right now, believe it or not, even though we're tanking, we're still maintaining an uptrend. Can you believe it, guys? Can you believe it? We're still above the 180 moving average on this 4-hour chart, which has held for months, right? Ever since we got the breakout back in the beginning of April, about 2 months ago, we've been riding this 180 moving average. And believe it or not, man, with this drop, probably not hard to believe, the RSI is now pretty oversold. Very oversold, actually. The RSI on the 4-hour chart now is at 23, which anything near 30 and under 30 is oversold, according to the RSI, you know? So there's no doubt in my mind that the uptrend's continuing, and that honestly, in my opinion, we're not going much lower here. Is this a time where we're going to crash? Are there, macro things to worry about? I mean, yeah, there are always macro things to worry about, but is this the crumbling of the bull market, the uptrend, I don't think so. I'm not convinced. There's nothing that's telling me that. Corporate earnings were phenomenal from big tech, from AI. The guides were great. Guidance was awesome out of all these companies pretty much. So for me, it's like this is a gift. It's a buying opportunity. I'm looking at some of these stocks and I'm like, finally, we're getting a sizable pullback where I can add more or simply add to a new position, So that's exactly what I'm doing here with the Qs down towards 710, 715, right by the 180 SMA, and SPY's doing the same thing. I'm looking at it as a buying opportunity, especially for my trades, especially for my trades here. So I ended up adding more LRCX, which I moved some money around in my one portfolio that we actually track on Patreon. Make sure you guys check out the Patreon. I sold some Meta in that portfolio, which Meta's been moving sideways, right, for months. So I sold half of my Meta position pretty much at break even to free up some cash, not because I don't believe in Meta. It's because I think Meta is going to be sideways for a little bit longer here, probably throughout the end of the year. I think Meta is going to do very well in 2027 and beyond. But in the meantime, I think these AI stocks, certain ones that I bought, they're going to do very well before Meta even starts to really break out, which I think is coming next year and beyond. So I'm looking at this like, okay, what's the opportunity cost of my capital in Meta right now? I mean, look, I could let it sit in Meta, let it ride out, do well longer term, or I can sell out some of Meta right now, take a little loss, pretty much broke even on those shares, and I can buy some AI stocks, chip stocks that I like on the dip that I think will do very well in the next couple of weeks and months, right? It's all about opportunity cost. So what I did here is I sold half of my Meta, right, which I plan on adding more to later down the line, maybe at the end of this year, later this year. But for now, I sold half of it, and I bought more Lamb Research on this dip, right? I got filled, I think, at 310, which these stocks could go lower. Who the heck knows? Maybe come Monday, we're going lower, which I'll end up buying more, right? But I added more Lamb Research. It's down 7%. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I think the stock's going 350 plus. So I'm adding on this dip, all while the uptrend's maintaining. The chart looks phenomenal. I mean, look at this chart compared to Meta, right? Which one would you think, do you think is going higher this year, right? Over the coming weeks? This chart right here or Lamb Research? I mean, come on, guys. So I bought more Lamb Research and I bought Micron. I'm back in Micron. In my Patreon portfolio, I added some shares at 897, I think I got filled. And now we're at 903. And I think, yeah, this potentially could go lower. You know, if Monday we open up and the Qs are gapping down 1-2%, which could happen, who knows? Micron's going to come a bit lower here, but I think it's an opportunity to add more, especially if you're looking at it as a momentum trade, a momentum play. It's a no-brainer. So for me, that is what I'm doing, you know, and that's all I've done today, really. I mean, a lot of people think during red days you have to be going nuts, selling everything, buying new stocks, selling 20, 30 stocks, buying all these stocks. Sometimes the best thing to do on a red day is, quite frankly, nothing. You know, doing nothing is great, actually. Don't touch anything, don't move anything, but sometimes maybe making 1 or 2 trades, thought out trades, is the best thing to do. Or again, do nothing. And for me, that's what I usually do during red days. I'm rebalancing. If I have extra cash, I'm putting it to work, right? If I need extra cash, I'm rebalancing, or I'm just doing absolutely nothing. And sometimes, a lot of the time, quite frankly, that ends up being the best move, you know? So that is pretty much it, right? We're falling off a cliff. Not really. But it's one of the bigger red days we've had, and a lot of people are freaking out. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna lose all my gains? Or is this a buying opportunity? Guys, relax. You know, if you cut the noise, focus on the fundamentals, you're gonna realize that the story is still intact, right? The AI story, at least, and the bull market's still intact. This is simply a pullback, and the reality is, man, I think it's going to get bought up, and I was saying this months ago, right? When Micron, for example, was at, $300, people were freaking out, and I was like, it's short-term noise. Cut the noise, focus on the fundamentals, and we were buying Micron at 325. Do you guys remember that? And it pretty much went up 3x from that point. So it's all about cutting out the noise. And am I saying Micron's going to 3x from here? No, I'm not expecting that, obviously. But, if we can get some buys in the mid-high 800s, low 900s, could this go back to 12, or not back, but could it go to 1200, 1300? Yes, I think it could, and that's what I'm playing it for, or why I'm buying it for. And again, Lamb Research, I think, is going to 350 plus. That's just my opinion, though. Please do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. This is what I'm doing with my money, my personal money. You guys got to trade at your own risk. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Hit the like button and check out the Patreon. I'm telling you, man, there's a lot of value in there. And it's not like $100 a month or $250 a month like some of these other services. It's literally $10 a month or $20 a month, depending on the tier you pick, which nowadays, guys, is nothing. I'm posting daily chart updates, all my trades, portfolio updates. We're active pretty much all day in the Discord, right? Which is through the Patreon. So if you want to be a part of the community, man, check it out. Link down below, pinned in the comments, or go to StockSurfest.com/Patreon. And with that being said, happy Friday, happy trading. Don't panic. I'll see you in the next video.